So here we are, the 1 month mark. A little surpassed there, but the MLB The Show 22 is now reached. It's been out since April 1st on early access. At this point, even if you didn't get the deluxe edition, you still would have had the game for about a month now. And I always think that 30 days time frame is a good gauge to really base opinions off of. I mean, look at real life baseball, look at the Reds. I can tell you the high degree of certainty, playoffs are coming for them. So I think it works here as well. We're going to go through, I want to make this off the cuff, just my honest thoughts and opinions. We're going to go through the game. Just tell you my honest opinion, what I think about everything currently. And I would love if you guys in the comment section down below would reciprocate. Let me know what you guys think about content so far. Gameplay, different new features that they added this year. What do you guys think? How could they change it to make the game better? Because there is patches incoming. Just a matter of when. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start with Diamond Dynasty, as that's primarily what we talk about, but we'll branch into every mode a little bit here. So I figure let's start off rather right here, just on the first screen. Very nonchalant, just to give my honest opinion about this. So brand new World Series ranked seasons came in yesterday, and a big thing that they went ahead and added into the game was rather the innings this year. It was 400 innings in the first season in order to get up to that first World Series pack, which is the same thing. You have the World Series rewards, the same thing you get by getting up to a 900 rating, and they moved it down to 350. Now, there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of talk, a lot of discourse about, is this fair? Should they change it? Should it go back to wins? Should there be something to penalize people for quitting the game? I think absolutely not. I've quit out of, I think, 1 or 2 games because my opponent was just beating the brakes off me and I wasn't having fun playing the game. And then another time I had to go do something. I think my girlfriend needed help with something, and it's like, how should I get penalized by that? People saying like multiple hour bans, people suggesting like all your pitches are drained. That's not how you do it. If anything, you just reward like a 9-inning game for the person who won. You don't penalize somebody for quitting the game. Shit happens in life, but I do like that they moved it down to 350 innings. It shows they care. I did the numbers yesterday. It's about 30 hours of ranked seasons play within a month. At less than a month. This came out in the 2nd. It ends on the 30th. That's a lot for cards that don't go for a lot, We'll have to see about this one. I gave my opinions on these cards last night. They don't necessarily seem like World Series type rewards yet. I don't think they're going to go for a ton, probably less than 70K, probably like 60K when they actually bottom out, but they made strides. But that's how it is right now. Let's keep moving on here. Let's go to programs. I'm glad that I waited a full month to Eclipse to go ahead and talk about the programs, because this did change my mind, and in my opinion, for the better. Now, the first thing I want to bring up is they extended the program out to 150,000 XP points, and it's a shorter program too, by a week. 4 weeks, so practically a month compared to 3 weeks, and there's more stuff to do. Now, again, we've been over this fact. I am not naturally getting up to this amount of XP just organically. Of course, I cheesed, exploited, but as a no money spent player, that's kind of what I had to do to maximize profit, because that's how you make stubs and get a better team. So I am completely understanding that this is not going to be as fun for me as it is for you, for example, but I don't think it's bad. These cards aren't going, these cards aren't going to go for much. They're already only going for 30K. And are these, put on the ski mask, have a bank heist, something of GTA 5, call in Lester? Probably not. You're not going to have to go steal Mother's MasterCard here. But they're solid cards for now. Eddie Matthews, Zach Britton's very solid. He's probably one of the best cards in the game, going to be meta for at least like 4 months or something. He's going to be one of the best lefty relievers in the game for a while. And these cards are, pretty good. There's a lot more packs, and like I said, they extended it 150,000 XP points past it. So if you are somebody who, kind of exploits, uses the cheesier tactics of grinding XP, such as myself, for your own benefit of earning stubs, then it's great. But the people that don't, this is just additional stuff pretty early on. 255,000 XP in 3 weeks is very doable with all the goals and conquest showdowns that they're going to put out in the meanwhile. So other programs that's talking about that. POTM is coming out on Thursday in just 2 days. I like that they added this. I don't think Dawson's a great card, but in the future, I think these cards are going to be good. And regardless, it's a free 91 overall, which is something that we couldn't say in previous years. Otherwise, it's essentially the same. You play a couple moments, you get Tops Now cards. It's very streamlined. Nothing really changed in structurally. A POTM, it just visually looks a little bit different, and they show us these cards before they actually reveal. Like we see the Dawson 3-4 weeks before we're actually going to get to the POTM Lightning Diamond. But I love POTM. That's usually some of the best stuff that they do. These programs here, they're essentially just player programs. Some people are complaining that, it's a cosmetic grind. Not really. You still do get a player there, which is good for collections, and you get the jersey. So it's no different. The only reason people would say that is because there is a jersey there, which is just in addition to what we had previously. So programs so far have been good. I didn't love the first program. I thought it was pretty easy to complete rather quickly, especially if you're somebody who really grinded out the game in the first weekend or so. A lot of people got to the end of the line rather quickly. Mini seasons, big fat miss, like any small market team's free agency. It's just not good. The rewards are good. They're quite good. There's a lot of XP. There's a lot of different, stubs. You can earn a free diamond player. The problem, this game mode does not work. It does not work. I have really only used this game mode for the feature of grinding out prospect packs and, earning the prospect of stubs within it. Buy these 10 home runs with All-Star Series players. That's all I do it for. Because I tried playing the game mode regularly, get up, play a whole season, and it just counts losses out of nowhere. They just pull them out of their ass. Boom, there's a loss. When I won the game, you can look at the game history, I won. I don't know what's causing this. They've said they fixed it. I hear constant complaints in my stream talking about this. I see other content creators posting on Twitter. DC, I know he posted about it as well. It's just awful. I don't think they should release more stuff until they fix it, because for some people it's been okay, but a lot of people have straight up just lost their progress out of thin air in the postseason and lost many, many hours of grinding. Conquest is the same shit. There's not much to say. Same thing as Showdown. It's the exact same. Not a bad thing. That's just kind of how it is right now. We talked about ranked. Freezes are awful. I have more freezes than I have in any previous year. I have double-digit freezes. 4 of my losses here have been results of freezes. I don't want to just sit here and wait out a freeze in a 700 something rated ranked game. There's no point. If I was going to World Series, that's a different story. Then I'll gladly, put out the lawn chair, have some fucking popcorn, and wait it out and see who wins. Co-op. There's no rewards in it right now, and it hardly works. Again, I want to love this mode. I really enjoyed it in the tech test, and I've enjoyed playing. I've played it with a couple of my friends on stream. It just doesn't work, which is a big thing. I don't care, honestly, if there are rewards in this or not. It's just fun. People forget you can have fucking fun while playing a video game. There doesn't need to be some extra incentive. You also do earn XP, so it's not like you're completely wasting time here. It just needs to work. Battle Royale is kind of the same thing as always. It's all-star difficulty with, variety of players, some low overalls. It's bound to, have a bunch of wacky miscellaneous hits. It's hard to really bitch too much about that. These cards don't really go for anything. I'm not sure how you fix that. They aren't great cards. Hershiser, I've tried playing against him. He's not particularly great. There's a ton of first basemen in the game right now. Andrew Miller's quite good. It's because the PR program is so rewarding. I think it's awesome. You do not have to be a 12-0 player at all, because they added the exclusivity that you're guaranteed to get one of these players in each round. One of the golds, one of the silvers, one of the bronzes. So you can finish out those missions, and you could be like a 3-4 win per attempt or a BR run guy, and you'll still easily get this done within the month allotted. So BR program is one of the best things that I think they've added into the game the last 2 years. Events, they are event cards. I look at a guy like Johnny Bench, I'm like, yep, you probably earn them in an event. Yep, it's not great, but there's other stuff. They've made, the pack rewards a little bit better moving on, so don't have too much really to talk about as far as that goes. Collections, I've been pretty clear in my fact that I like that these are not going to be, with the exception of Randy Johnson, he's quite good. He doesn't have the sinker, but, the hit 9 should play all year. It seems like they're gradually going to work to increase that. It's not going to be the 125 in June like we saw last year with those no-hitter cards. I don't think that's going to happen. So Randy Johnson's great, but Clemente and Frank Thomas probably can be replaced in like 3 months, the way the current content cycle is going, which I don't think is a bad thing at all. If anything, it just makes the game even more no money spent friendly, that you can't drop $1,000 on launch and be able to have the best cards all year round. These are certainly going to be decent cards, pretty comparable, but there's obviously going to be somebody better than Frank Thomas who can do everything. Not that fielding matters at all at first base. You're 240, you douse 5 bottles of Nugenics, get your testosterone through the glass ceiling, you're probably going to stop balls at first base, so Frank Thomas has that covered. It's the dog factor in him that you can't find on the back of the card art. But otherwise, I think collections are good. I'm glad that they have them gradually working up this year. Otherwise, anything else to talk about? Exchanges, not really. The marketplace, kind of been the same as always. I will say packs, headliners, I do like that they kind of stick the price, they price fix it essentially by having this pack at 25,000, where you have really good odds, 1 of 3, and pulling a 90 plus overall diamond with high chance of getting the headliner. It's going to keep the price down. They've all been like less than 30k, which is good because these cards aren't typically the most meta. If you want to limit the price, that's a great way to do it. The chase packs, they're finally releasing another one on May 10th. That will have been like a month and a week since they released Julio Rodriguez. I love the concept. They just gotta do more with it. Let's also talk about Supercharged. I don't think there's any Supercharged cards in the game currently, but a great feature. It's not every day that somebody gets Supercharged, but I think it makes that more exciting. There's kind of a formula. We know if you throw a no-hitter, you're going to get a Supercharged card. If you hit 3 home runs in a game, like Anthony Rizzo, you're going to get a Supercharged card. So you can kind of guess who's going to get it based off that by following in the game, which makes it exciting. It's there for 2 days. Vlad Guerrero got one for his 3 home runs in the Bronx. Like the feature, I think it's frequent enough. I've been pretty pleased with it to this point. Talk about ball play really quick. Nothing really changed here. Apparently, the showdown quirks or the perks, twerks, whatever the hell you call them, don't work online, which they never make that abundantly clear, which is a classic SDS moment. But otherwise, it pretty much works the same. You grind it the same way. You can't grind anymore in Diamond Dynasty, but that wasn't the best, most efficient way of doing it anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. It's very profitable, as always, with the Diamond equipment packs that you get throughout the path, and it's good. There's discourse, should they take out the creative player as far as Diamond Dynasty goes? I think yes. But in the meantime, I'm going to use it because everybody else does. Quickly talk about Road to the Show. March to October franchise. Nothing really changed here at all. There's more podcast clips, which doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't feel personable. I don't feel like I'm living the dream for many reasons. One, you still don't have any effect. Like your contract, you could make $30 million, you could make $3. The average minor leaguer salary currently, maybe $2 would be more accurate. But there's no point to that, so that's just chalked. And there's nothing really new here. It's not a bad mode, there's just nothing that's been added there. Franchise is horrendous. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm sick of them lying. They say they fixed trade logic. You wouldn't believe the kind of trades that I see on Twitter. It's no different. Maybe like 1 iota, 1 eyelash of an improvement as far as trade logic goes. But it's still dog shit. It's awful. And again, it just feels so petty for them to say with a smirk on their face and stream saying, you can't trade these guys for a bag of chips anymore. Belly laugh. And you're able to do the same exact thing once the game actually releases. So I feel it's, shitty for them to advertise legitimate franchise improvements but nothing really happens. As far as gameplay goes, let's talk about that here quickly. I'm going to roll just some gameplay in the background here, nothing too serious. Thoughts? Pitching is improved. It is more difficult. It can be more RNG heavy. There are many factors at play, such as your control or BB9 is going to have a larger par just off rip. And then if you try and have a sinker or anything that is not a four-seamer, a two-seamer, or a cut fastball, if you try and throw them higher in the zone, it's going to be increasingly more difficult. It could be a cookie, it could be right on the dime, or it could be a ball, because that perfect accuracy region is just increased, which disincentivizes people from spamming the up and sinker, which a lot of people did not like. You know, it was a cheese tactic, which was effective, but now you see it significantly less often because there's so much more risk within throwing that pitch. So pinpoint and pitching in general, I think, has been improved based off that fact alone. Fielding, I am so sick. I'm so sick of the dives. It was cool like the first week. It was like, oh my God, look at that play. Damn. Woo-wee. Somebody get that on the SportsCenter top 10. What a web gem. But the more and more you play it, it just gets annoying. I don't feel special. I don't feel cool for making a diving play. It's exactly the opposite of what they intended because it's just broken. You know, it doesn't matter if you're a bronze defender or, you know, fucking Ozzie Smith. You're gonna make the play 9 times out of 10. Then it's just a matter of can you throw them out in time. I want it to have skill. I want it to be special, but it's just too much. They got to nerf it a little bit there. Otherwise, fielding is fine. It's no better. It's no worse, in my opinion. Hitting, I am a strong believer. You do a few things, such as nerfing the dives, is going to already feel better. I noticed in like one particular game I played last night, I had 3 or 4 diving catches made against me that were on good hits. If they fell and diving wasn't so overpowered, or even if just one of them was a, you know, really good diving catch, I would have no complaints about hitting. You know, I think that's a big problem plaguing gameplay right now. It's just the dives, because it doesn't give you those hits when you have a good swing. As far as the bullshit, the Texas Leaguers, those sort of things, it's always going to happen. You know, you kind of just have to accept that. It's annoying, it's frustrating, but at least it's one of those things where it'll happen to you and it's fine, but then it'll happen against you and then you start to complain. So it's 50-50, but rewarding hits is one thing that needs to be tuned. I'm not sure how to do it, but there is a problem. I don't think it's significantly worse than other years. I think it's just a little bit worse, again, plagued by stuff like the increased dives this year. So if you change that, if you fix it, if you make it better, then I think gameplay won't be in a horrible spot. The biggest thing is just disconnects and freezes, in my opinion. If those don't happen so often, I'm having a much more enjoyable time. There's one stream, I had 2 out of my first 4 games freeze. And then I think I had to disconnect a little bit later, like 2 games later. So, you know, how does that make me want to grind for a 40k card when I have to play 30 hours of ranked seasons and I just get set back on progress? It is not fun at all. So there needs to be a fix for that. It's despicable that in a AAA game, it's on 3 platforms now. This is not a small dev team. This is not a cheap indie company. This is fucking Sony that cannot have their game freeze this often. And I'm sure there's some of you guys that'll say, well, what do you mean, Gomer? I've not had a single game freeze this year. I've had Road to the Show freeze. I've had many seasons freeze. And then I've had probably like 3 event games and 4 ranked seasons games freeze a month into the season. I have the best internet available in the city of Minneapolis. That's not the issue. It is a game coding bug, error. Something's not going right on their end. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up. We talked about gameplay. We talked about DD, everything that you could possibly talk about with Diamond Dynasty. Stadium Creator, I wish you could play night games there. Hopefully they do add that feature, and eventually, yes, you can do it offline. You cannot do it online. From what I've heard so far, that's intentional until they figure out something where you can't cheese it. You know, you can't have just shitty stadiums where it's pitch black. You know, you can't see anything. So let me know in the comments section what you guys think. We talked long, but also not as long as I intended, but also a little longer than I hoped. If that makes any sense. Leave a like. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. We're going to be streaming. We're going to be uploading. It's all right. You know, if I ever give it a rating, like a 6 out of 10. 5.5, 6 out of 10. There's stuff that they need to improve on. I truly believe somewhere deep down, there's a good game here. There's just a bunch of shit on top of it. They have to clean it up, and then we'll have a good game, which I think will happen. It'll just take a little bit of time. That's gonna do it. Hope you guys have a great day. Gomes out. Eat.